Hey, Future Gen, this is Dr. Stan. It is April, and I don't know where we are in the journey of our pandemic, right? Of the COVID pandemic. And I want to say first and foremost that if your family has been affected by this epidemic, whether it's through actually having somebody exposed or sick, or maybe even has passed, or if it's been more of a financial and a business and a whatever aspect, right? Like we're looking at those two numbers and they're just affecting more people on a day-to-day basis. And if it has, our heart goes out to you. Please, please, please join our Facebook group. It's called the Future Gen San Diego Support Group. And the reason why I made that is because I wanted to stay connected and I wanted to provide all of you information that helps open the viewpoint of what this whole pandemic is bringing to us. But I wanted to take a step out of the mainstream media just because when you look at it just from a spade and a spade, like they track death rates, they track exposure or infection rates, and what they don't track is recovery rates. And they're tracking them, they have the numbers, and as of the day today, there's 105,000 recoveries with no cure, right? And so if there's 105,000 recoveries with no cure, the question that I have for all of you, and I've asked every patient today this, is what helps them heal from COVID-19, right? And if there's something that we can do, why don't we enhance that as amazingly as possible, right? And so we have had issues with our automated systems. Sorry if you had received a reminder text that said, hey, we miss you and we'd love for you to come back in, blah, blah, blah. That's all just calculated by the last time that you came in. We're sorry that you got it. It's not us being opportunistic or anything like that. With that said, we had 6 patients call and they said, hey, we're ready. We need an adjustment. We're like losing our minds, right? And so people have asked us also why we are open, right? And from the governor's office to all the state licensing boards in the United States, they've all deemed us essential healthcare workers. We're on one end, we're helping people stay well, right? On the other end, we're noticing that ERs, urgent cares, GPs even are so inundated with people that some of the chiropractors have actually started to reach out to these medical doctors and medical practices and just say, hey, all the people that you have in your world that are facing like lower priority things that are taking up your schedule, send them our way, right? And so we know that we are helping out in a lot of different ways. And what I know for a fact for you in our office is that you guys have been very, very clear that you're appreciative that at least one place in your whole world is actually operating as if things are relatively normal. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not doing our public health measures and making sure that our schedule kind of goes, it's more spread out naturally, and we are wiping down tables and all those different types of things. And so we're doing all the things that are going to help prevent spread and that type of stuff. But at the same time, your adjustments are all going to be beneficial at helping your system self-heal and adapt, whether it's through your immune system or adapting to the stress. Now, getting to the theme of the month, it's really interesting. Last month, we didn't know that this was going to happen, right? But it was all about kick the sick. It was all about your neuroimmune regulation and your neuroimmune system and how to help enhance that. If you want a recap of all those videos, just go back and watch those. All the ones in March that we posted are all going to help you navigate this pandemic. This month, April, I don't know where our mindset was, but we are literally preparing you for this type of situation, and that this month is going to be about preconception care, the most important factor in helping you conceive a healthy baby. And what it's going to go deep into is, one, we have a teen and anxiety webinar where we have no concept today of what's happening to teens, in that their chronic illness rates are through the roof, where most of our patients today, if you're in your 30s or 40s, there are certain chronic problems that you've had for a long time, and we're seeing them in teens, right? And they're not just common in teens, right? They're rampant in teens. We're going to talk about a postpartum health webinar. A lot of times what we know about second conceptions or second babies is that a lot of times mom expressed to me that they don't feel like they healed from the first one as well as they could have. But most importantly, we're going to talk about burnout. We're We're going to talk about sympathetic fight or flight dominance. We're going to talk about this level of stress in our bodies that gets so stored. Everybody's predicting, all the birth workers in San Diego are saying this, like, do the math, 9-10 months from now, we're going to have an influx of babies because of this quarantine. We need to know how to create, even in the midst of chaos and hysteria, how to bring peace in our hearts and peace in our minds, and have peace of mind, so that we know that when we're bringing life onto the planet, we're bringing that life onto the planet in the most healing and the most empowering and the most inspired, and at the same time, in the midst of chaos, balanced way. And so stay tuned this month, stay more connected than ever, and please join our Facebook group. And in the end, stay tuned to all of our information, because it's going to help you navigate everything that we have going on, but especially if you're going to be having a baby soon. Cheers.